Bum bum. Ciao. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Monday mini medicine card reading. Ah, I am fiddling with the new, there we go. Have a new phone. So I'm making sure it fits in my holder and everything. There we go. Welcome. Come on in. Say hello. I am looking. I still have the pen in my pocket. Dang. Okay. I don't know if anyone is there yet, but I need to grab a. Oh! I have a pencil. That'll work. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Monday mini medicine card readings. I'm trying to get my holder to sit at the right angle. That's Daryl over there, and Buttercup the bunny, and Windsor the African painted dog. Welcome, everybody. Pardon me while I try to get my phone aimed in the right place. Cheesy Pete's. All right. What is going on here? Come on in. Hello, everybody. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some Monday mini medicine card readings. Oh, hello. Hey, Marilyn, my friend. Hello, Jeff Lynn. Good to see you guys. My phone is going to keep going in a weird direction. I guess that works. So, gee, oh my God. Okay, let's try. Hello, everybody. Come on in. My phone is a little wonky. I'm trying to get it settled just right. It's a new phone. And, all right. Hello, everybody. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. And we are here to do some medicine card readings. And if you've been here before, you kind of know how this works. But the first 6 people to comment yes, we keep it on the positive, get a 1-card reading from me. And I just lost a pencil that I had just found. So, wow, it's a different day. It's been kind of a weird and different kind of day today. So, we expect anything. Jeff Lynn, you are first. All right, so I'm just gonna light some sage and smudge my cards. Hey, Amanda, you are second. You are the next contestant. All right. So, I always have a hard time figuring out how to say this, but this video is free, of course, but I ask, like, my suggested donation, kind of price of admission, is if you would kindly share this video and share it on your own wall, someone else's wall, on a page. You can tag someone in the comments that you might think might like it. But please share the love. Okay, things are just acting weird today. Thank you, guys. Hey, Valerie. Valera. That was just my dad saying hi. Wow, things are just weird today. All right. So we have 3 people. Still, maybe I'm just ungrounded. Maybe that's what it is. Having a hard time getting my sage to light. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, ow, light my fire. I guess that is gonna have to do. Maybe I need a little bit too. All right, there's some smudge for you. All right, so if you haven't been here before, what we are doing is we are doing readings with the Medicine Card deck by Jamie Sams and David Carson, and it is a beautiful deck. This is a very well-loved deck with the animal spirit guides on it, and each animal has a different message. And if you haven't been here recently, we're doing things a little bit different, trying a new format, and I am going to do a 1-card reading for the first 6 people who comment yes. We've got 3 people so far. I'm just going to get them shuffled up, and then I'm also going to do 1 card. I'll pull the first card as one for everyone, whether you get a 1-card reading or not. And if you do not get a personal reading, please know that if you are watching this, there's something in every reading for you. Take what resonates with you, claim that as your own guidance. If something I say for someone, even if it is not your reading, if something resonates from another card for someone else, that guidance is for you as well. Follow your heart, okay? This is totally inclusive, and nobody gets left out. So, all right. Okay, they're just saying 1 more shuffle. All right. So this one is for everybody, regardless if you get a... Ha-ha! All right. So our first card, the card for everybody, the General... Wolf. Wolf is the teacher. Wolf brings into mind how the packs always have scouts that go out ahead of the pack to get the lay of the land, to try out different paths, to be kind of the trailblazers. If you're watching this, you are one of those trailblazers. Give yourself credit for the courage to be different, for the courage to be unique, to celebrate that difference, and to be willing to answer the call of your heart to explore things that interest you rather than numbing out or suppressing those passions and those desires within you to explore the world. So know, if you are watching this, that you are on the leading edge of awakening You are going places and doing things that other people are afraid of or don't even know are possible. And that is how the wolf teaches, because then the scouts come back and tell the rest of the pack what's the safe, like the best, safest ways through, you know, with that whole, I was there, I'm fine, I know how to get there, you know. And so there is that giving yourself credit, because it takes courage to walk this path. It is not for the faint of heart. To go counter to the expectations of the world, that is huge. And that is a gift you give the world, is that courage to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. That is a huge gift. And then to be able then to turn that wisdom of experience into teaching for others, to know the lay of the land, what lies ahead, to know that they're safe, to know that they're going to get there, right? The other thing about wolf that I like to talk about is how wolf is, like all canines, wolf tends to be seen as masculine, right? And wolf gets his power from Grandmother Moon, the divine feminine. And so that card shows you how balanced you are right now, between the masculine and the feminine. It's like taking that inspiration of Grandmother Moon and actualizing it into the physical world. Not just getting the inspiration, but following through on it, making it real, making it physical. So, good job, guys. Seriously, that is not an easy thing. So give yourself credit for how far you've come. So I know when you started out, it was, well, I mean, it's still, there's things that can be scary in that, but, you know, starting out, you know, things can be daunting, can be overwhelming, but you did it. And you have come to the place where you have enough confidence, enough knowing of what lies ahead, out ahead of the pack, so that you can be that guiding light for others, you know. And that's another thing that all canines, kind of their place is as guardians. So you are a guardian of the ways. You are a guardian for those coming behind you and showing them the way to safely get to where they're going. So good job. All right? Okay, let's see. So our first card is for Jefflin. Let's see. Okay. Oof. All right, Jefflin. You got snaked, but excuse me, she came up reversed. So I know you're going through a lot right now. You are in the process of rebirthing, okay? Things probably look uncertain. The future might look kind of dark, like how the heck am I going to get through this? what's going to happen. I don't know how to do this. When those thoughts and those doubts come up, that is your old story. That is the old skin of the snake peeling away. Okay? That is the fact that that is coming up, that your world seems to be a little shaky, a little uncertain, is evidence that things are getting better. I know that's kind of anti-intuitive, whatever that, counterintuitive, that's the word. But if things are falling apart, there necessarily is something pushing in to push that other stuff out. Unfortunately, when we don't have the right contact, it still hurts. It's still painful. And I'm not trying to make it all fluffy and rainbows and unicorns and that kind of thing, because it is a hard place to be. But the discomfort and the pain is, if you think of a snake shedding its skin is drying out, it's peeling away. Some of it's still attached, some of it is loose. It's itchy, it's painful. Though that discomfort is what helps motivate the snake to rub against tree bark, to rub against stones, to get that skin off, right? So even the discomfort serves a purpose. And now please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, it's just part of the journey, suck it up. That is not what I'm saying. All I'm trying to do is give you, a mental, maybe emotional context to help see it in a different light. I do a lot of work with animals. I don't advertise it a lot, but I'm also an animal communicator. And one of the things that I've learned is that animals only experience what we call clean pain, okay? Humans tend to experience dirty pain. And what I mean by that, animals don't have all the thoughts and the emotional attachment and the guilt and the shame attached to it. They feel just the pain. There's no questioning, why did this happen to me? What did I do wrong? Am I being punished? All of those thoughts, the animals don't have that. So their pain is clean. We have dirty pain where we have the pain, and then on top of that, we throw all this emotional crap of, why is this happening to me? What did I do? Why am I being punished? I must have done something really bad. I don't deserve to be well, or, that kind of thing. We call that dirty pain because all it does is adds more weight onto the original pain. And so when those issues, when those fears and those doubts come to the surface, they're coming to the surface to be released, okay? That's the old skin peeling away, and the fact is that that's the old reality that used to contain you, but you've outgrown it. You are pushing through it. When you feel that pressure, kind of like the world pushing in on you, it's actually not the world pushing in. That is a feeling of you pushing out against the limits that you've known before. You are surpassing the old limits, okay? And I know that I know that for myself, when I can remember that when I'm going through similar things, that eases the pain considerably. Just to know that there is a purpose. And I'm not saying everything happens for a reason. Again, so suck it up. I'm saying that there is a purpose and that there is a greater there is a greater expression of your strength and your courage and your confidence, etc., on the other side of this hump, okay? The other thing about snake, God, I could go on for hours, but just to touch on a couple more that I think are key for you. When snake is shedding the skin, its eyes are actually part of the skin it's shedding. So when snake is shedding, he is literally blind. He can't see ahead of him. So part of that not knowing what's going to happen, part of that uncertainty is because you literally can't see ahead of you. This is a dark night of the soul. That time when there's nothing we can do. We can't see ahead of us what's going on. Our old strengths, our old world can no longer support our weight. We're breaking through it. And so it is a time, like I like to say, when you find yourself in darkness with no clear path ahead, it's time to rest. It's time to dream. You are in the dark. You are in the void. It's the womb of the mother where all things are born from, okay? And so rest. Give yourself the rest that you need in order to recover, okay? It's like a seed. You can't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to see if it's growing yet. It needs that stillness. It needs that darkness. It needs that rest beneath the surface. And that's what's going on. There is a lot of activity, but it's happening below the surface, below your conscious mind. So it's a time of nurturing that faith that everything is happening according to plan. There is a bigger plan, and everything is, like, one of my favorite affirmations is, only good can come of this. You're on the right track. You are in the right place at the right time. And I'm just laughing because it reminds me of I've had issues with blood clots, and yes, rest is within the shedding of the skin. The snake, okay, so the snake doesn't like, oh, there's a patch of skin, peel. Oh, there's another one that has to come off, peel. The snake just focuses on where it's going, on nurturing itself. It's a vulnerable time. The old skin is peeling away and the new skin hasn't totally coalesced yet. So they're very vulnerable. So it is a time of self-nurturing. It is a time of seeking out the darkness, of seeking out solitude, and being good to yourself, being compassionate with yourself, because you are tender and you are vulnerable at this time. And it's also, when you look back on this, let me give you a personal experience so that this doesn't sound. When I have a history of blood clots, like I started saying, and it's hereditary. It's something that I've had to deal with, but the very first time I had a blood clot show up, I was in the ER. It was the first time I was ever in the ER. I was freaking out because I've been pretty healthy my entire life. I've hardly had to do much. Haven't had to go to the doctor often. And here I am in the ER, and I was checking in with my guys, say, what's going on? Am I gonna live? Am I gonna survive this, right? And my reindeer power animal, Nathaniel, He's like, you know, when this is over, at some point, you're actually going to be grateful for this experience. I'm like, that's not helpful right now. But at some point, and this ties into snake, because the venom of snake is the seed of the antidote to the toxins, right? So this experience, this period in your life, though it seems dark and unknown right now, at some point you will look back and it will all make sense why it happened. And you may not know it because of the distractions of the discomfort and everything else, and the darkness and the uncertainty, but you are actually laying the groundwork. This is actually building a foundation for you to stand better in your strength, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to, I don't want to make it sound like, you know, in no way am I saying, this is your karma, deal with it, this is, you had this coming or anything like that. That is not what I'm saying. But just like everything has a purpose, and that purpose, we are meant to expand, we are meant to grow. That's who we are, that's why we're here. And every experience has a gift in it. Every experience is a stepping stone to a greater sense of self. So I hope that helps. I really hope that helps. It's, you know, and the other thing about snake, and I promise I'm going to get to the other, maybe it's good that we've only had 3 people tonight, and I'm kind of long-winded, but so that venom into medicine thing, snake is about transmutation. You are in a very potent alchemical moment right now of changing all the things, you know, the experiences that we look back on with regret, the things we didn't do or the things we did that we wish we hadn't, all of that, transmuting those from the lead that it seems to be that holds us down into the gold of our shining spirits that lift us high. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Oh, hello Dorothy, and hello Cricket. You guys are on the list. So I better make sure not to talk so much. All right, so Jefflin, I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that is helpful, my friend. And you know that you can always message me if you have questions. Any of you, you can if I do a reading for you, you can message me on my Facebook page and ask me for clarity, or if you've got a story that relates, I would love to do that. Oh, hey, Deb, we've got 1 spot left. I got you down, Deb. All right. All right, so we had Jefflin. Amanda, you are next. So I need to try to fit five of these readings in. I just spent half, well, I did 2 cards actually, so half the time with 2. But again, I don't need to just stop at an hour. I will go until we are done. I always try to fit it under an hour because I know people's attention spans aren't very long these days, but I will make sure you get what you need. All right, Amanda. Amanda, you've got whale. You've got whale. Oh boy. Okay, so whale is the record keeper of the planet. It is said that whale sings the history of the earth in her song. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. Whale is, it's like water. If you've ever seen the thing, I can't remember the name of that Japanese scientist who was doing the messages in water and taking photos of the crystals of the water, like if you spoke words of love into the water, and then he would flash freeze it, and then he'd take a picture of the ice crystals. And like if they were words of love, it would be these beautiful like snowflake crystalline structures. If it were words of hate or fear, it would be all cramped and icky. And water is it is, how do I say it? Water is kind of the library of the planet, even if you've ever heard of Matthias de Stefano, he talks about the different races that were here before us. And one of those races was the frost giants, who gave birth, I think, to like the Norse mythology of all of that. But they were the record keepers, and they came and they were infusing the ice of the planet in the north with all this wisdom and knowledge from the stars, because water and ice are a great container for that information. And so, and I'm realizing now that I don't know why I said all of that, because I don't know that it necessarily is pertinent, other than, when you have if you're carrying a water bottle, or, before you drink and everything, when you just speak, I love you, or whatever it is into that water, it really affects the vibration of the water, and then you take in that vibration, and it's better. And so as the record keeper, usually when whale pops up, my first question for the person is, do you write? Are you a writer? Do you journal or anything? Because being the record keeper, they're the storytellers, right? They have all the stories of the planet in their song. So part of it is about finding your voice, finding your song, telling your story. Your story has a lot to give to others. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in writing. If you do some kind of art, poetry, dancing, singing, whatever, some kind of creative expression, I always recommend, when whale comes up, I always recommend people journal, but that's a personal choice too. So, song, you like song. It's like your story. Everything you have come through to this point has been not only for your own benefit, but for the benefit of those whose lives you will change with your story. Going back to the first card I pulled, the wolf, for everybody, you are a trailblazer, and it's time to tell your story. It's time to sing your song, like the sirens. Well, maybe not like the sirens, because they lured men to their deaths, but that siren song of calling people, helping people to find their own hearts, like on the card. They have the star here. That's actually Sirius. Are you serious? Yes, I am. Sirius is said to be the home, like where the whales came from. According to the native legend, Whales didn't originate here. They came from Sirius. And so by singing your song, you have done huge journeys. You have plummeted the depths of emotions and risen again. You now are not the kind of person to be swept away by the turbulence and the tides, because you are a master of the sea. You can navigate those waters easily and effortlessly. And by doing so, you know where your home is. You have your bearings, your own North Star. And by sharing your song, you help others find their own North Star, right? So sing, play. It's time to share your story, okay? All right, I hope that is helpful, Amanda. Okay, Valerie, I love her. Valerie, there's a girl I know who makes me feel so good. And you know, even if I should, they call her Valerie. I love her. It's okay, this is my fiance, Valerie, so. All right, Valerie. All right. Okay, let's say one more shuffle. Okay. All right, Valerie. You got Dragonfly reversed. So, good, Amanda. I'm glad you're singing. Awesome. So Valerie, Dragonfly, you know the story. I'll tell the story for the benefit of everyone else watching. But Dragonfly, there is a story that goes with Dragonfly, that once upon a time there was a great and mighty dragon. And this dragon was all powerful. He was so magical, which made him very arrogant. And he liked to boast about his deeds and his prowess and his powers. And one day, Coyote got tired of listening to his bragging and decided someone needed to take him down a notch or two. And so Coyote, knowing no one better suited for the job than himself, went up to this great mighty dragon, said, I bet you're not magical enough to make yourself that big. And the dragon laughed in his face, and he turned himself into a dragonfly. The thing is, when he turned into the dragonfly, he got caught in his own illusion. He still had access to all the magical powers, all the magic, all the power, all that strength, but he believed he was this small, frail little body, fragile and vulnerable. So, Valerie, it's kind of like asking you the question of what remember who you are. Remember who you are as a child of the divine, as a facet of the divine. You know, I've talked about the holographic universe before, and how, like with the hologram, how every part of the hologram contains the entire image. You know, if you take a holographic picture and cut it into pieces, you get a whole bunch of the full images, not just parts of that image. And so it's remembering who you are as a channel of all of that divine power You are a channel of that power. You have access to all the power and all the magic in the universe. Even though you seem to be in this frail human body, you are infinite. And you have access to every magical power imaginable. You are a channel of that magic into the world, right? So remember who you are. Remember your divinity. Remember your dragonness, right? Because when you remember that and you drop everything that's weighing you down, that's holding you down, then like Dragonfly, you have unlimited choices in your movement. You can stay still and hover in place, or you can fly in any direction, up, down, sideways. You're unlimited. So it's dropping the ballast that holds you down. By that I mean dropping the beliefs that you can't, or that something out there has to change. It's really about believing in yourself, believing that you are divine and that you are worthy, and that there is no one more powerful than you, that you have a direct line to Creator, and that's all that matters. Because through that connection, all things are possible, okay? And I know, and this, I know that you're opening up more and more and more, and it's like so that the facade, the human costume and facade becomes an interface. If you showed up in all your brilliance, people would run for the hills. If a dragon showed up with all its power and its massiveness, people would freak out and run. Well, most people would. And so it's like, so I've talked about power animals before, and how the power animals' job, our animal spirit guides, we call them power animals specifically because their job is to plug into source energy, and then they step the vibration down to a point that we can handle in our physical bodies, and then they plug into us. Valerie, you are basically a power animal, okay? You are this channel. You are opening wider and wider all the time to channel that divine energy through you and into the world. To bring that unlimited power and magic into the world through this illusion of humanness, so that others can accept it, so that others don't run away. They see the friendly face, they see the kindness in the eyes, they hear that sugary voice, and they know they're safe. And so you give people the opportunity to touch into that same magic by being who you are. So just keep remembering who you are and that all things are possible. Okay, love? I love you. All right. Dorothy, you are next. So let's get a card for Dorothy. I know you get this all the time, probably, Dorothy, but I can't help think of The Wizard of Oz, which I love. All right. Somewhere over the rainbow, blue birds fly. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Dorothy. Dorothy. And I apologize if you hear that all the time. I don't mean to poke. Yeah. So Dorothy, the one that came for you was dolphin, but in reverse. And, you know, reverse is not bad. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's not that you have sinned against nature or anything like that. What it does is just focuses where the attention needs to go. And for you, that attention is on the breath. Dolphin is about the breath. And so usually my first question for people when dolphin comes up is whether they meditate or not. Because if you don't, I would highly, highly recommend it, okay? I'm not telling you what to do or anything. And you have every choice, you know, every freedom to choose not to. But I highly recommend some form of meditation, okay? When you think about dolphin as a mammal, as an air breather who lives in the ocean, it brings to my mind that the saying about how you are human. No, you're not human. You're spirit having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience, right? You are spirit. And what I love is I just learned recently that in many languages, the word for air and the word for spirit are synonymous. So it's the spirit, it's the air within dolphin that allows him to navigate through the waters of the world, right? But he needs to come to the surface. He needs to rise to spirit, take a big gulp, a big breath of spirit. Dorothy is spirit? Is that what Dorothy means? That would be awesome if it is. So the meditation is not about getting better at meditation or just sitting still and counting your breaths and stuff. It's about realigning with your essential self, that part of you that is spirit. And so like once or twice a day, I highly recommend doing something that aligns your spirit, something that connects you, you know, and it can be meditation, it could be chanting or singing or dancing or Tai Chi or a million other things. But somehow every day connect to spirit. Let, like what I was talking about with Dragonfly just before, let the facade of humanness fall away and really feel yourself as that creative energy of spirit. You know, and then, you know, like I feel like I repeat myself a lot, and I'm glad people don't seem to be getting tired of hearing me talk about this kind of stuff. But when you do that, when you move through the world in alignment with spirit, you have the spirit in you, you are inspirited, inspired. And then everything you do, every action is inspired action, right? Rather than focusing outside first and trying to fix things, you know, when you do that, you're basically just rearranging boxes. There's no real change happens. But when you come from your heart, from the spirit within you, like Abraham Hicks talks about, one person in alignment is more powerful than a million people who aren't. When you're inspirited, then everything you do is exponentially that much more powerful. And that's how we make real change. going within into spirit, you know, and even, so I was raised Catholic, so some Jesus stuff, well, Jeshua is actually one of my guides, but one of the things he said about, you know, seek ye first the kingdom, and the kingdom of heaven is within. It's like, everything is about vibration. Everything is about frequency, right? And so when you're coming from your highest frequency, then everything you do carries that same frequency. And according to entrainment, everything of a higher vibration lifts everything that's of a lower vibration to try to meet it. The other thing that I like about dolphin, it reminds me, there's this analogy of the beach ball. It's like you're like a beach ball, okay? If you've ever tried to hold a beach ball down underwater, it gets harder and harder to do, right? And eventually that beach ball will find its way back to the surface of the water. That higher frequency, the air meeting air, spirit meeting spirit, that is our natural default setting, right? When we're being held underwater, we're being held down by our old beliefs and systems that taught us that we're worthless or whatever it is. And by freeing ourselves of that heaviness, we shoot right up to that higher frequency that we actually are. That's what the spiritual path is all about. It's about letting go of the stuff that holds you down, because you're already whole. You're already high frequency. You're already spirit. It's surrendering into who we are that helps to raise us to realize who we really are. Does that make sense? So that is for you, Dorothy. I hope that is helpful. All right, Cricket. Cricket is next. I hope that's how you say your name. I'm just assuming it's like the insect. But let's see who is coming to walk with you this week. All right. One more. All right, Cricket. Ha! You know how many times I have shuffled these cards? You got Dragonfly in reverse as well. The funny thing is, you know, I could do a reading for half a dozen people. The cards could all come out exactly the same, and you would have 6 totally different readings. So for you, Cricket, of course, everything I said earlier, and if you have to remember, you can rewatch this video, when I was talking to Valerie about Dragonfly. What I'm getting for you intuitively, though, for you, it's more about the perspective. Dragonflies are one of the greatest hunters in the animal kingdom. And part of the reason they are is because they have those massive, multifaceted eyes, right? They can literally see in every direction at the same time. Okay? What I'm hearing my guides say is lift the blinders. Lift the blinders. There's so much more to see. I don't know, what's going on with you or what situations you're in, but it's to remember that there is always another way to see things. There is always another perspective. So okay, what I'm getting is also to trust your abilities, trust your intuition. You can literally never be blindsided because you do see everything that's coming. You see everything ahead of you. You see everything behind you. There is nothing anyone can pull over you. So believe in yourself. Trust your abilities. Is that making sense to you? I hope that makes sense. But it's like opening and then trusting what you see. It's like you've had enough experiences. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense. You've had enough experiences to validate that you do know things, that you do see things, okay? Believe in yourself. You can trust those visions. One thing I always do, like in my shamanic classes, when I teach people how to do shamanic journeys, I always make sure that they're journaling, that they're writing down, like every shamanic journey they have, to write it down in a journal. Because we are all human. We all, even I go through those times where I'm like, is this real? Am I just making this up, or am I insane? But when you look back on volume after volume after volume of the instances where everything worked out, where you saw something and it was validated, then you can no longer doubt yourself, okay? So what I'm suggesting is, like, when you do have visions, or if you help other people and have intuitive hits, to keep track of it, keep a record of it, because eventually it's going to be like if you're going through a time of questioning yourself and doubt, you'll have all these sources to go back and reread. Oh, that's right. I remember when that happened. I forgot about it. Oh, and that one, that was amazing. You're amazing. And it's time to acknowledge that, okay? You're better than you think you are. And again, like Dragonfly, you are unlimited in what you can do with it and where you can go with it. Okay? So don't be afraid to allow the blinders to fall. It can be overwhelming, to be able to see everything. It can be kind of that deer in the headlights, oh my God, which way do I go kind of thing, right? But that's where your heart comes in. That's the navigational part, where because you can see everything, then you look again with your heart. That's the big part. Not to see with your brain, but to see with your heart. That makes all the difference in the world. That's what distinguishes. You see all the paths laid out ahead of you. Your heart will tell you what's the best and highest good. Okay? Trust your heart. It's time to stop playing small and really let yourself expand. Okay? You can do this. This is part of why you came here this lifetime. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you. I haven't even met you. But I do. I honestly, when I say that, I'm in all sincerity, you know, I can feel energy and I can connect with people, and you have so much to give this world. Don't sell yourself short, okay? Go for it. And pretty soon, once you start to open up, it's going to be zip, 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 like Dragonfly. Even if you choose the wrong path, you can zip back and take the next path. You're never trapped. You always have an infinite number of choices before you. Okay? So, thank you. I hope that is helpful. All right, Deb, we're our last contestant of the evening. Our dear Deb. Let's see who's going to talk with you tonight. All right, Deb. Oh, awesome. You guys are cousins, Cricket and Jefflin. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate your presence here. Deb, you got the frog. Frog is about cleansing. I think we've talked about this before. Frog is kind of the patron saint of empaths. When Frog sits in the pond, he doesn't actually drink any water. The water he needs soaks in. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing with Dorothy and having her come on. That's awesome. I so appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Frog, all the water Frog needs soaks through his skin. Just like an empath soaking in whatever pool of energy they happen to be in. And so, there's a saying that it's not so much where you find water, you'll find frog, but where you find frog, you'll find water. Because frogs, since they soak the water in, they're one with the pond. They're one with the water they live in. So they have to live in clean, pure water. And so yes, it's about cleansing. It's about finding purity. You know, it's surrounding yourself. It's more active than just sitting and trying to cleanse things from around you. It's about seeking out purity, seeking out an environment that feeds you, even if it's just, you know, the guest room in your house, if you have it set aside for your own, just your own personal stuff, to have that time of solitude and be surrounded by the things that are meaningful to you, the things that remind you of who you truly are. That is frog medicine. And it's that need to recharge before going out into the world, right? Because the tricky part is, oh good, I'm glad that resonates. The tricky part is being an empath out in the world, right? Because you do soak in. everyone else's stuff. But when you come from a clean, clear, pure pond, and you know what that feels like, and you have your own, like you have the baseline feeling of what your energy feels like without the influence of anyone else, that enables you to be in the world, to sense other people's energy without becoming a part of it. Does that make sense? And by filling yourself up enough with your own brilliance, your own power, your own, just by radiating all of that, there's no room for that other stuff to come in. That is the purpose of empaths. It's not to soak in all the energy, but to be able to identify different energies and to distinguish and discern between energies. So whatever you can do, to find a place of solitude, a place of things that just resonate with you, like your altar, and having here, for example, my altar, a couple of my guys fallen over, but this is the corner where I do these readings from. I am a cartoonist, and these are the things that inspire me. These are the things that remind me of who I am, of who I have known myself to be since as long ago as I can remember, and I've got Totoro and Woodstock up on top and Paddington. These are the things that feed me. These are the things that remind me of who I am, who my essential self is, right? So make sure, because the world will tell you differently. The world will shout at you and try to claim you and try to say you're one thing when you're not. And so, like my teacher, Sandra Ingerman, just was constantly telling us that, she probably owns stock in the Post-it notes, because she's got Post-its everywhere. And she's always telling us to put up Post-its, put up rememberings, affirmations, photographs of those who inspire you, pictures of things that you love, because the world will give you everything else that is not you. And we have to be able to be in a place surrounded by our own energy, surrounded by those things that feed us, that remind us who we really are. And so, and so I'm a big proponent of Post-its and affirmations. I have a dry erase marker that I'm constantly writing new affirmations on my bathroom mirror, so I see them at least a couple times a day, right? So we all need those little pointers, those little reminders. That's part of why we wear jewelry, why we wear pendants, and why we wear clothes that remind us of things we love, right? Surround yourself with that. Wear it. Oh, there we go. My comments disappeared. I was like, oh no. Again, like with Dragonfly, it's kind of like the message here is to remember who you are. Because only by remembering who you are, to remember your strengths and your gifts and your talents, that's the only place where you can move outward into the world in integrity and wholeness and affect the world rather than letting the world affect you. Okay? Does that make sense, Deb? I hope that's helpful. But yeah, you're going through a deep cleansing right now. And just seek out those sweet spots. Seek out those pure pools of Debness. um, don't be afraid to hop away from things that don't suit you. Okay? You are the most important priority in your life. If you aren't your first priority, you can't help anybody else. Okay? It's that whole airplane, air mask, give it to yourself first before you give it to someone else. I keep getting the flash of the scene from, which Captain America movie was it? I think it was the Winter Soldier one, where Maggie, the founder of S.H.I.E.L.D., died, and her niece was up giving the eulogy, and she quoted Maggie as saying something like, even if the whole world says yes, if you know it's no, it is your job to plant yourself like a tree and say no. I don't think that's it exactly, but if you get my point, it's like, even if the world says you're a dog, you plant yourself in that knowledge of who you are. Again, that alignment with spirit, to fill yourself up with your own divinity, and then you're unwaverable. Then no one can affect you. Okay? So those are the readings for tonight. I thank you all for joining me. Again, if you came in late, let's see if I can find them. The first card I drew was the card, kind of the overview for everybody. Where are you? I know you're in here. Jeepies. Jeez Louise, there you are. So the first card I pulled, the one that for everybody, regardless whether you had a reading or not, is Wolf. You are on the leading edge. You are trailblazers. You are the scout, the wolf scout that goes ahead of the pack to get the lay of the land, who has the courage to explore things and have that sense of adventure that others don't, in order to lay the groundwork for others to be able to follow in safety where they are going. So, and again, if anything I said for anybody else resonates with you, that guidance is meant for you as well. Okay? Claim it. Anything that resonates. And anything that doesn't, throw it away. It doesn't matter to you. Okay? So, again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing this video. If you enjoy this, if you enjoy my work, please consider approaching me for a personal reading where you get 5 cards all to yourself. And we can go a lot deeper in what's going on for you, what might need attention, whatever. I love doing that. And so you can visit my website at perchingwolfstudios.net, and you can sign up. You can schedule an appointment with me right from my website. And we can do an in-person one in downtown Renton, Washington, or we can do a Zoom call. So we're very flexible. And while you're on my website, you can see the other things I have to offer. Healings and classes, and got some of my comics up there, like my altar that I showed you. Kenshin fell over, so did Wonder Woman, but yeah, so you can check out a lot of my different things, see who I am, schedule an appointment with me. Also, I will share this video to my Facebook page. So please like my Facebook page. And I will also upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So you can watch it there, so check that out. Please subscribe and like my videos. I guess that helps me in the rankings, like to get noticed more. And also, this is my full-time job, which I'm like, it's like a dream come true. But I also gratefully accept any donations you wish to give me if you feel so moved to send me a little bit of support financially. My PayPal link is in the description below and everything, or above. I'm not sure where it is, but what else? And if you're interested, I'll do another live video every week tomorrow night. I was doing it on Wednesdays, but I had to shift it to Tuesday nights. So Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, I do a live video, a sacred pipe ceremony, to kind of hold space, set sacred space for people to come at least once in a week to be able to put the world off their shoulders, to breathe and connect to spirit, like I was talking about tonight. So if you're curious or interested, and if you've never seen a pipe ceremony before, join me tomorrow night. And that happens every Tuesday night. And I hope you come back next week and visit me again. I so enjoy this. I so appreciate your presence here. Your energy makes all the difference. So thank you for that. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, and since I mentioned my comics, there's actually, I put my latest comics up on a blog. I'll have that link in the description as well. But it's drawingbreath-comic.blogspot.com. But you can check out my latest comics there and look back at 10 or 12 years, I think, worth of comics that I put up there. And there's actually a link to blurb.com where I have some graphic novels I've self-published that you can purchase. So that would be lovely. I love when people get to read my comics. It's kind of like completing the circuit. It's like, it's no good if nobody reads them. I love doing it, and it's the only thing I ever wanted to be since I was a kid, was a cartoonist. And so I get to do that and be a shaman. It's like best life ever. So anyway, thank you so much again. Have a wonderful week. I hope you come back next week. Invite your friends. Please share the video, and I will see you soon. Okay? Until then, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Go shining. All right. Bye.